Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 137. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Wednesday Motivation and Inspiration. Today, we're talking about people who are pursuing their goals. So, this is called To Those Who Are Pursuing Their Goals. And basically, it all boils down to setting a goal, making a plan, getting to work, sticking to it, which is the consistency and discipline, and then reaching your goal. And then you start all over again and, you create more goals and you keep going. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. If you are pursuing your goals, there will be people who won't understand your grind. There will be people who won't understand your vision. And those are the people that will be hard to keep around in your life, because you will eventually have to distance yourself from them or just cut them off altogether to get to where you want to be. Now, accomplishing your goals is a mental game in your mind. There will be days you don't want to do a thing, and you will have to push yourself to get things done. And having people around you to push you, motivate you, and inspire you will go a long way. Believe me. Because I really don't have that at all. But honestly, I don't have people around me like that, to push me all the time. I have to push myself. I have to get things done. There are days I don't want to write, and days I don't want to do podcasts at all. And there's days that I'm supposed to do record podcast and write, and well, I end up doing one and not the other. But then I have to make up for lost time if I don't do one thing later on in the week. So I end up paying the price somewhere along the lines, right? And I think of the end results for all of the blogs I do, the books I write, the audio books I record, the marketing I do for my books, all the promoting I do for my podcast, the podcast work, and all of the social media content that I post, right? The company you keep will determine how far you go in life. And you definitely will need people around you or people that you look up to that will push you to your greatest potential. And because I don't have people around me to hold myself accountable, I do have to hold myself accountable. But I will say, and if you guys don't know by now, Gary Vaynerchuk and Eric Thomas, those two, they're businessmen, motivational speakers, and just they do so many things. But the one thing that they're great at is really pushing you to get to where you want to be. It's the way they eloquently say things. Gary's a little bit more vulgar. Eric Thomas is more in your face. But I need a balance of them both to kind of keep myself going. So I do watch their videos from time to time, and it helps me sometimes when I'm kind of like, I'm not feeling it today. And some days I do take off and go, not today. But then I know tomorrow and the next day and the next day, yeah, I can't goof around then. Right? Now, if you don't have a love-hate relationship with the journey, then it's just not something you love. Because, to be honest, when you have a passion for something, there's going to be days where you're just like, I don't give a hoot. I don't want to do a thing. And that's that hate part of it. But then, shoot, tomorrow you wake up, you like, sure, I'm motivated. I'm ready to go. Let's get it today. Trust me, everybody goes through it. And when you love what you do, there will definitely, be a time where it's like, I gotta get this done because there's an end goal to this. And when you know that there's an end goal to it, it's okay, I have to really push myself to the next level. And to those who are pursuing their goals, what I will say is to keep going no matter what. Learn everything that you need to. Take a risk every once in a while, in regards to maybe an investment or a business decision or a meeting that you are uncertain of that may work out to your benefit. But I will say, if your intuition, your gut saying, then don't do it. But if your gut and your instincts feel good, but your mind's kind of uncertain, sometimes your mind's gonna play tricks on you. So if your gut and your heart's kind of in the right place, then I would say take the business meeting or take the opportunity and go for it. But sometimes we have to, go all out just to see what happens. And honestly, I just want you guys to keep in mind that not everyone needs to know your every move. So moving in silence kind of goes a long way. And I've started to do that um, within the past few months, I will say, because, it's better for people to not know what you're doing, especially people who are not even supporting you. They'll just, sit on your social media and just like your post, or they won't repost what you're posting or whatever the case is. So it's just like, all right, cool. I'll move quietly. I'll move in silence. I won't say anything. And then the results will show for itself. I don't, share, how many books I sell. I don't share what my numbers are as far as my podcast. I just don't feel the need to do that. I just don't think that that's important. I think for me, it's the longevity and legacy of all of this. And you don't have to go about it the way I'm doing it, but for me, I'm just pretty humble about a lot of things, and I don't really kind of put myself out there and say, hey, look at me. I'm just not that guy. And maybe that's kind of what's kept me from really getting to where I want to be, but will I change? Maybe. Who knows? A little bit, not that much. Um, but people aren't going to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and your purpose and your reason because, well, the majority of people in life do not have a purpose, a reason, or a passion for what they're doing in their lives. So when people are like, well, let's go hang out, and you can't, and you got to get that work done, then you got to get that work done. So that's why I say you got to have the right people around you that are working towards something bigger than them. And when you're working towards something bigger than you, then you're able to hold each other accountable. Because accountability is going to go a long way. Accountability, consistency, and discipline. And that's what's going to allow you to, achieve all of the great goals that you have in your life. So, with that said, that's my podcast for today. A short one. I've kind of done a couple of long ones within the past week or so. So I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter. Have a good week, everybody. Stay tuned for Book Insight Friday. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.